Q&A. Question is, I enjoy your channel. What about that movie Fathead? I realised that wasn't long-term exactly, but is there a simplified explanation of ketosis valid at all? Their movies seem to do a decent job at promoting the Atkins diet. Care to comment? For the record, I'm into 811. Just thought I'd get your thoughts on the matter. Cheers. Well, there's good websites out there. AtkinsExposed.org, AtkinsDietAlert.org. This whole movie Fathead, all it is doing is basically telling people good things about their bad habits. I mean, can you imagine if you're a movie producer who wants to finance a movie and you're like, wow, how are we going to get money to promote a McDonald's diet? That's basically what Atkins is easy. Paleo diet is easy. Primal diet's easy. You just go to KFC with your wearing your Vibrams. Thanks. And got some juice here. Fast food. That's what I'm talking about. I love that when just bottles of organic juice just rock on your next to your book there. So you go to McDonald's and your Vibrams, order your Big Mac, throw away the bread, and just eat that. That's the paleo burger. And in Australia, the McDonald's burgers are grass-fed. So paleo, primal people come to Australia, feast up in the McDonald's. I know Paul Check and Sean Croxton are big fans of TGI Fridays, and I know Mark Sisson's a big fan of KFC. He's got his favourite fried chicken recipe on his website there. People say, Mark Sisson doesn't eat fried food. Yes, he does. Doesn't make him a bad person, but definitely fried food, that's going to fuck up your health. All these fast food, paleo, primal, low-carb experts writing off the fruit thing, or the rice thing, or the high-carb Dr. McDougall style, clinically published books like this. The paleo people use people like Denise Minger, who's like an 18-year-old blogger, as their nutritional authority. Denise Minger is the nutritional authority of the paleo, primal, low-carb world. Whenever they want to debunk these sort of clinical books, they get their 18-year-old blogger to come on and write some blog, and then spam it across their paleo primal forums and say, this is how it is. And I'm like, sorry guys, that's bro-science, that's dogma, that's 18-year-old blogger opinion. This is clinical data. You can see that there. Dr. Neil Bernard's program for reversing diabetes. People just read this. Read this. Try and get her to debunk this, because that's pretty entertaining when you get the 18-year-old blogger who's got the English qualifications to trying to debunk the clinical studies. Interesting stuff, guys. The paleo, primal, low-carb, fathead world is in dire straits when they get the 18-year-old blogger to get on there and write stuff off. But here's the thing, Denise Minger, lovely girl, nothing personal against Denise Minger, she actually eats the fruits, she eats the high-carb diet, which is... that's crazy, isn't it? So, my opinion on the Fathead movie, it's a bunch of fucking nonsense. They're basically just telling fat people, sit on the couch, throw away the running shoes, get rid of the oat bran, get rid of the bananas, and pick up the bacon and eggs. Just make sure they're grass-fed, but it doesn't matter. Paul Check eats at TGI Fridays, and so does Sean Croxton, so just go to your fast food restaurant with your friends and make sure you eat extra bacon instead of the steamed baked potatoes. And if the naughty waitress throw some brown rice on your plate, make sure you scrape it off and fill it with some big dollops of cream and butter. Have a big block of butter on your plate, because that's healthy and that's going to get you lean. And all those high-carb people, they got it wrong. Carbs make you fat. Look at all that fat on there. Oh, fat man.
I watched a movie called Fathead, and I think it's got some good valid points, so I'm eating a lot more bacon and eggs now, and I don't eat oatmeal anymore. Instead of eating oatmeal, I eat like a block of butter. I go to Whole Foods to get a block of butter for lunch, and it's very satisfying. I just eat it like that, just scrape it off, eat the block of butter. And so I think Fathead was very educational, documentary. I like to eat a lot of fat, and I think meat's very healthy and part of a balanced diet. Yes. So I've got to get back to the barbecue now.
It's just hilarious. It's just hilarious. You got to laugh at the idiocy. Fathead, what a movie. If you're fat in their head, then perhaps you deserve that movie. Check yourself off with atherosclerosis. Check yourself off with stroke. And look what happened to Stephen Burns. Stephen Burns was the head of Weston A. Price Foundation. He died of stroke. He was similar to my age. Died of stroke. Rest in peace, Stephen Burns. Dr. Atkins died obese. He had chronic atherosclerosis based on the medical reports that were done. Enough. This high-carb stuff is where it's here to stay. So that's just bottom line. So ketosis. I'll tell you what happens when you go to ketosis. Look at my other videos. Ask yourself this question: why is there not a single athlete on the planet, period, who eats a low-carb diet? Low-carb diet means 150 grams or less of carbohydrates per day. There's not a single athlete on the planet who does it. Yes, you might have the person who does the 9-hour marathon. We're not going to run it in 2 hours 57. You might have the person who plays golf low carb. You might have the person who drives to the gym and pedals on the treadmill for 5 minutes, and they're the athlete, and they're athletic, but you know what I mean. I'm talking like hardcore fit, man. And then people go, oh, but what about Jonas Colton? He's not low carb. I emailed Jonas, lovely guy, and he eats fucking heaps of carbs. He just promotes healthy fats. So someone says, oh, because you promote linseed oil that you're a low carber. They like to cherry pick information. So there's not a single low carb athlete in the world. Low carb means ketosis. Ketosis means ketoacidosis. Ketosis means your breath stinks, your fart stinks, your colon's clogged full of animal products. It means that you're really just hitting the wall. In running, we call it hitting the wall. In cycling, we call it bonking. I mean, bonking sounds fun, but it's just go for a ride on your bike or go and deal with your kids all day when you're in ketosis, and you tell me if that's fun. I don't know about that, but it ain't fun. So ketosis is something you want to stay away from. Eat as much carbs as you want. Just stuff in as many carbohydrates as you want. Get the bowl and just brown rice, potatoes, fruit's the best by far, but no one got fat on brown rice or corn or barley or quinoa or aramet or millet, blah, blah, blah. All these high carb, low fat sauces. People add oil and shit to their corn chips, so they have like corn and 50% oil, now it's a corn chip, and people call it carbohydrate. In actual fact, half the calories come from fat, when corn in its natural states, maybe 3% calories come from fat. So let's get real, let's get high carb, let's get low fat, let's get vegan, let's get fruit on the menu, let's get whole food carbs on the menu. If you don't like the fruit, fair enough. If you don't like fruit, eat your wheat pasta, eat your millet, whatever. Get the carbs in, get the animal out, get the oil out. Keep your nuts and seeds low. The fat you eat's the fat you wear. If you want to be a fat head, eat lots of fat. Look at my friend Jimmy Moore. Jimmy Moore's a lovely guy, nothing personal. That's him, did an interview with him even. Jimmy Moore, one of the biggest names in the paleo primal low carb movement. Jimmy Moore's obese. Lauren Cordain, fat, overweight, nice people. Sally Fallon, fat, overweight, nice people. But look at the message they're giving. They're saying eat all the fat you want. Carbs are bad. Carbs make you fat. And it's like, hang on, isn't anyone paying attention? How come all these fat gurus are telling fat people to stay away from carbs and they're fat themselves? What's going on? Is Lauren Cordain the head of the paleo movement sneaking bananas? Is Sally Fallon drinking too much organic apple and blackberry juice? What's going on? Is Jimmy Moore going down to the Chinese vegan restaurant and ordering big buckets of steamed brown rice and broccoli? What's going on there? And then you got the other primal proleo people pumping up steroids, jacking up steroids, doing intermittent fasting. I won't mention any names there, but people doing steroids, liposuction, face surgery, and that doesn't make them bad people. If you get, face surgery and hair implants and $50,000 in your teeth, doesn't make you a bad person. But when you're saying that person looks amazing, it's like, well, we're actually doing some steroids, they're doing a lot of facial surgery, they're doing liposuction. So maybe not the best example of a natural sort of body type. And again, it doesn't make a bad person just because you're a paleo, primal, low carb person and you're doing steroids and you're doing all this stuff. Doesn't make you a bad person, but it makes for some confusion out there when you sell out for money and let people ruin their health and you just cash in your way to the bank in Malibu or whatever. That's pretty unethical in my book, but hey, I'm just saying. So that's my opinion on the whole fathead situation. Absolute nonsense. Telling people good things about their bad habits. Basically an advert for McDonald's, an advert for the meat and dairy industry, an advert for these destructive, pernicious, evil, death, fire, destruction industries that we need to abolish to end the world hunger, to end the water pollution, the air pollution, the noise pollution, the screaming animals, all that nasty shit. Fathead, what a fucked up name for a movie. Fathead!
But you need healthy fats and grass-fed butter and cheese and dairy and fermented goat's milk. That's what you need. Healthy fats, grass-fed steak and bison. You're not a monkey.